Hey, Mr. Chu here with Bear Algebra Curriculum, talking about factoring with challenge problems. So I am in my tie. That's what I like to teach my algebra in. This is Bear Algebra. I want you to like this video right now. Just take and give me a thumbs up. It's important. It helps me get out to more people. I also want you to subscribe down here in the button so you can come back and search if you need to have some other help in math. If you have questions other than what I'm talking about, or you need me to do a specific problem, send me a message, comment, ask me to, because I did a video earlier in geometry today for someone who had requested a special thing. So challenge 1, we're finding the GCF of polynomials. I've got 14y cubed plus 28y squared, and you need to find the prime factorization of each one. And I showed you an easy way to do it is to just take and find the factor trees of both of them. So let's take our 14y cubed, and 14's factors are 2 and 7, and they're both primes. And then we just have y times y times y. And then the 28 y squared the 28 is 2 times 14. The 14 is 2 times 7. Then you got y. So there I've got both of them. So I'm going to write them both down. So my 14y cubed is 2 times 7 times y. Then my 28 y squared is 2 times 2 times 7 times y. Remember what we did next? You circled what's in both or all of them. Well, there's a 2, there's a 7, and there's a y. So my GCF is 2 because I circled it, times 7 because I circled it, times y because I circled it, which is 14y. So if I want to factor the GCF out of this, I write down my original. Then I take and I write my GCF with parentheses. This is reversing the distributive property. And remember what I said, you could take your 14y cubed and divide it by the 14y. And then you can take your 28y squared and divide it by the 14y. Or you can look up and say, what did I not circle? Y times y squared. Well, look, the 14's cancel. One of them cancels. You got a y squared. On the second one, what didn't I circle? 2 times y plus 2y. 14 divided by 8. 28 divided by 14 is 2. Y squared divided by y is y. And there is my answer. So we have our equivalence. Binomial equals the factored GCF times a binomial. All right, it works for 3 as well. So let's take the 3 and find all the factors. 4y is 2 times 2 times y. Negative 12y squared. It's negative 1 times 12. The 12 is 2 times 6. 2 times 3. Y. And then the 16y cubed is 2 times 8. The 8 is 2 times 4. And the 4 is 2 times 2, and it's 3 y's down. All right, so I know that my 4y is 2 times 2 times y. That's what I have right here. I know my negative 12y squared is negative 1 times 2 times 2 times 3 times yy. And I know my 16y cubed is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times yy. Remember what you do next? You circle what's in all of them. So I can't circle this negative 1 because it's not in all of them. But I can see right here that it's got a 2 in all of them. Well, there's another 2 here, so you got to be careful. And they can cross here as long as you keep them separate. I just wanted to show you how that worked. And I've got a y here. All right, so to find your GCF, remember what you do. You take the circled 2 times the other circled 2 times the circled y. 2 times 2 is 4 times y is 4y. So, to write out the equation where you've got your original equaling the GCF times that factored amount, I write my original 4y minus 12y squared plus 16y cubed equals my GCF times the parentheses. So I take my 4y and divide it by 4y. Ah, that's interesting. What is anything divided by itself? It's 1, isn't it? Because you could always multiply this by 1. So you've got a 1 right here. Then you can take your negative 12y squared divided by 4y. Well, negative 12 divided by 4 is my negative 3. And y squared divided by y is y. Or I can just take negative 1 times 3 times y, negative 3y. And then my last one, I've got my 16y cubed, and I divide it by that 4y. Well, what's left? 2 times 2 is 4, times y is 4y squared. Well, 16 divided by 4 is 4, y cubed divided by y is y squared. So to check this, if you wanted to see, well, did I really do it right? You could take the distributive property. 4y times 1 is 4y. That's correct. 4y times negative 3y is negative 12y squared. That's correct. And then 4y times 4y squared is 16y cubed. That is correct. So make sure you like this. Give me a thumbs up. I work really hard to make these videos so that you can understand. Comment, ask me a question. I'll do my best to answer it. Subscribe. There'll be a button down here. I'm Mr. Chu. I want to help you learn the bare algebra, and I'll see you next time in another math video.